All right, everyone. We are back with Pints with Ayre. We have a new guest, new kind of permanent guest with us. Maybe you might just have to tag along on every episode.
Tuck it in the desk, everything.
But yeah, everyone, let's welcome back our good friend Michael Wiedmaier.
Hi.
I don't have any sound effects to cue. But
Well, this is-
yeah, Michael's back on the team and he has quite a history with Ayre, and we just thought it would be fun to have him just crash our episode today. He's just started back up this week, but we want to hear Michael's story and kind of how he came into the fold and what you've been up to and what brought you back to Ayre and
Yeah, so
all that good stuff.
Yeah, should even start, just to remind everybody, many of our loyal customers and fans know that Michael was at Ayre for many, many years. I don't remember which years exactly.
Just under 18.
You're 18. Wow.
17 and 8 months, I think.
Wow. Yeah, so a long time. But so
Mm-hmm.
about 5 or so years ago, you moved on.
Yeah, I moved.
That's right. You moved states. Right?
Yeah. So I went to Texas for a while. Had an option there that I thought might be fun. Needless to say, she didn't work out. So I'm back here, bounced around for a while, worked for United for a while, loaded planes. That was a great job. That was really fun. And COVID put the kibosh on that. And then I was working at, where was I working? At Amazon. And I hit up Gary at YG. And I went to talk to Gary first, and Gary said, well, then I found out Gary was working there a little later. And talked to him to say, and Gary said, talk to him. So they hired me. Spent 3 years there building speakers. Fun, busting knuckles and getting cuts. And it was fun, though. It was a great job. They fantastic company. Treated me really well. I got nothing to say but good things about that company. Really good guys. And they built a great product. I had a blast. But the van down by the river just wasn't enough anymore. I need to make some more money. So I said, hey, Ariel. No, I'm kidding. But I certainly didn't come here for the money. Because I like this guy. This guy is pretty good too. And we're new, but this guy here is awesome. Designs and Charlie's heritage is continuing and legacy, so to speak. And yeah, that's what brought me back.
Well, thanks for those words. I
Design and
really appreciate it.
belief in this company. It's in my blood. I mean, Ayre is in my blood. It's never left me. And so that's what brought me back. I want to do good things.
And you worked for the company in probably some of the busiest time.
In our best years, yeah, we had some really good years around 2006, give or take a couple of years on either end. That was, we were doing rocking things and, the fun CESs and really good times. But, that's, but always good products. And like I said, that's what brought me back. It's just in my blood, the philosophies that we hold true to, the designs that we have, and the fact that I still can't listen to anything else without just feeling like, I need to be hearing Ayre in this.
Yeah, something's not right.
It's but that's anybody can say that about their own company, I'm sure, but this is my company and it's in my blood. So.
We're really happy to have you back.
Oh, thank you.
We talked to a lot of customers and dealers, and we had nothing universally positive comments about bringing you back on.
Thank you.
They're really happy to have you back, not just us. So it'll be great. But so we take on sales and customer service.
Yeah.
So a lot of the public facing communications and stuff again. So.
Which I love doing. So if you want to call me.
And you've got such rich history with the company. Our legacy products. You're familiar with most of the current products.
Yeah.
You've already gotten up to speed on kind of what we're doing with all the current 8 series stuff. So
Yeah, getting there. There's still a lot to learn. And it's amazing how much you forget after 5 years, but it's I just feel at home with you guys and this product. I just can't say it any other way. It's a good place to be.
Well, I think other than like your knowledge base and your experience with the company, I think what I'm most excited for, what I've been able to pick up on, is that your heart is rooted in it. Like there's a lot of just emotional attachment and things to
Yeah.
the brand, and
Thank you. Yeah,
and
that's the truth.
I think that's where our strengths right now are really at its peak. Is that the team that we've kind of started to build
Mm-hmm.
in here this year is all really kind of committed to the brand and the future of the brand,
Mm-hmm.
probably on a higher level than it has been, too.
Yeah, yeah. I see good things. Yeah.
So from what I've gotten to gather, from your story of coming to get to know Air and Charlie, it was really cool. It seems pretty serendipitous, almost how you kind of
Oh,
came
it
into.
was absolutely serendipitous. Yeah, I mean, it was the universe brought me Air to begin with, because I was always, like I said, a hi-fi guy in my teens, late teens, 18 years old, and it was just always the junkie. Had my first really good stereo at 18, and then a better one when I was about 20. Spending like $5,000 when I was 20, I don't know, 24 years old. Teals and the Sumo amp, and then I went to the Threshold amp and the Threshold Fit 9, had a Sonograph SG3 turntable that was really a great turntable. I wish I never would have got rid of it. And audio research and Pro, and they even had some spectral for a while. But yeah, and Ariel 10Ts and Vandersloos. I mean, I was always a junkie. I never really had the money to like really put like top-notch stuff together, but it was all high end. I mean, the Threshold amp was the S200. It was their entry level, but it was expensive for the times. But I was working in plastics and was just doing my plastics job, and Charlie came in, and I had just read about the. Well, it wasn't. That was a different story. I remember reading about the Avalon Eclipse and reading the review in Absolute Sound, because I used to read that magazine at my lunch break when I was in pharmaceuticals, and I would read the magazine and just drool and wish. And I remember reading the review about it and going, man, I want to hear those. And I went down to Soundings where I used to do my business, and lo and behold, there's a pair of Avalons on the floor. So I listened to them, I'll never forget it. We played, what's his name? But I remember the song. It was the song about his father. It's many years ago. Anyway, Jeff was the sales guy's name. Jeff, you probably knew. Jeff Fandel. Anyway, he was a sales guy. But and then I left the pharmaceuticals to do some other things that never really worked out, not the way I wanted, and I ended up just going to Soundings to ask if I could sell the stuff because I was passionate. And Rod said, sure. So I sold high end for a while, and I couldn't make any money because I didn't have enough time. Like, you got to build that clientele. You're in retail. You
Right.
kind of have some time. And about 8 months, I just was like, I need to move on. Just not a house and truck and life. So I found the plastics job. But Charlie came in, so I had read about the Avalons. I knew about Charlie. I knew who he was. But I didn't know what he looked like. I'd never seen him. And he came in to buy plastic for the D1. He was buying the lens.
Yeah, the blue.
And I was selling plastics. So I said, well, what are you looking for? And he said, well, I need to get some blue plastic for this CD player. I said, okay, well. So, is it like a replacement or something? What are you doing? He said, well, I'm building a CD player. I said, oh, you're building a CD player, huh? Sure you are. I go, okay. I said, well, and I said, what's your name? He said, well, I'm Charlie Hansen. I said, oh, I know who you are. And I didn't know that he had Air.
Okay.
But I had known about Avalon, and so I introduced myself and said, "Well, I'm Michael Ayre. I love hi-fi, and I've read about you, and I know your speakers." He said, "No, I do electronics now, and this is my company over here." I had listened to the V3 though in probably 1996, and I went in to listen up one day, just doing the gig thing, and listened to the V3. I didn't know about Ayre, and it was on a pair of silver B&W silver signatures. I went, "Oh my God, that is like the best thing I've ever heard at the time." In the mid-90s, it was phenomenal. And I remember touching it going, "Woo, that baby runs hot," and it was the only product you guys had at the time. But I didn't know about Ayre. So, fast forward, I meet Charlie, and, I tell him I'm a junkie, and he says, "Oh, you should come over then and check out my stuff." And this guy I worked with, Bob. So this is all the serendipitous part. Bob was a machinist at CU when Charlie was going to
Okay, I know where this is going. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob tells me one day, he says, I used to be at CU as a machinist, and there was a guy there that used to come and hang out with me. And I'm pretty sure he started his own electronics company, or he had a speaker company. I said, "Yeah, that's Charlie Hansen." He said, "Yeah, I know that guy." He said, "He's my friend. I should go over and introduce you, and he should hire you." I said, "Well, no, that's not going to happen, Bob. I don't know anything about electronics." And I said, "I know about him. As a matter of fact, he was just here, and I met him." He said, "Well, I should take you over there." And so Bob and I came over one day and hung out and talked to Charlie, and Bob was blunt, man. Bob's like, "You need to hire this kid anyway." Let's be honest. And but Charlie and I got closer, and I don't know if I met you at the time or not. I think it was just with Charlie.
Yeah, maybe.
And because Charlie would come over, and that's when I was cutting all the blocks for the golden ratio, trying all the different plastics, and these guys ended up on the wood. But Charlie just called me one day and said, "Hey, what are you doing for lunch today?" I said, "Well, I don't know, nothing probably." He said, "Well, can you come over here?" I said, "Sure." And I had been over a couple times by then. And I figured he was just going to talk about, the plastics and stuff, and closed the door in Lori's office there and sat me down. He and Lori just kind of looked at me and said, "We want you to work for us." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, we want you to work for us." I said, "Charlie, I don't know anything about electronics." I said, "I love the stuff, but I don't know what I would do here." He said, "We don't care. We like you, and we think you'd be cool here."
That was one of Charlie's things. Just once you got to know somebody and knows just what their vibe was, what some of their skills was. I heard that a few times. But I don't know what specifically they're going to do yet. I don't know what they're going to do.
Said, yeah.
I just know they need to be a part of this.
And that's what he said. I said, I think he actually had plans for me kind of maybe to do production management, because I don't think you guys had anybody at the time really other than Clayton.
Yeah, it was kind of.
I don't know who else
in that role. Yeah.
Yeah, because Lori was trying a little bit of it too, but she was doing her thing. And so I think he kind of had that idea for me. But when I came in, I started answering phones, and I think I just fell into the customer service part of things. And I was just so, it was just a natural for me. I mean, helping people has always been my thing anyway. So I think it just fell into that. But yeah, and so, fast forward, here I am again.
Yeah. I remember hearing from Charlie a lot of stories about Bob, about machining stories.
Bob Lucas.
Bob Lucas. Yeah.
Super smart guy.
Yeah.
And he was. I remember one time I had just purchased this Smith and Wesson 9mm, and it was just like a fun gun I could plink with, And he said, "I'd like to see that." So I brought it into work one day, and he was messing with it. He's like, "Man, the mechanism, this action feels kind of stiff." He said, "I can fix that up." And so he totally removed the slide of the thing, and he put it on the mill, and he machined a couple edges and put it back together. And it was like butter after that. It walked back easier. Everything about it, the action worked better. And I went, "That is crazy. This guy was really smart, He was a great guy, but his problem was he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But I heard him years later on my way to work. I used to listen to a guy named Peter Boyles. He had a radio show on KHOW or KOA, one or the other. And I used to listen to him on the radio talk show. Jeff used to listen to him too. But I heard him call in once to Peter Boyles, and he was a regular caller. And I'm going, I turned up the radio in my car. That voice sounds familiar. And I kept listening for him to say his name or something. And because I said, man, why do I know that voice? I know that. There was no doubt I knew the voice. And then he said, Robert. He called him Robert. I said, it's Bob Gukas. And then it all clicked in. I knew it was Bob. But this was years later after I had left, the plastics. It was probably 2010 or something. When I had started there in 2001. So I've always wanted to say hi to Bob again, but I don't know if he's even alive.
Sure he's
probably passed, but
he did.
Because I know he was living on the south end of it.
I think he passed before Charlie.
Oh, no kidding? Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, because he was a great guy. But I mean, I owe him like the introduction to Charlie a little bit because he kind of pushed. But the whole thing was, it was just the universe brought me air because I was a junkie and I had the energy out there to be in this world, but I didn't know how to make it. And I didn't even know there was a hi-fi company in Boulder. And so it really is that way, but a lot of my life has been that way. The universe brings me things that I put out.
Well, another dot that I think is kind of fun to connect here is that you went to work for a plastics company, but you were a woodworker.
Well, yeah, I told you that story. Yeah. I had put it. I was telling him I was looking for a job because I was working for Wells Fargo, driving the truck, under trucks.
Okay.
Worst job in the world, by the way. Sorry, Wells Fargo, but that's fine. What it really was the worst job ever. 60 hours a week and no OT. And they got away with that because they called themselves a trucking company. So they didn't have to pay OT. And it just wasn't for me. There were probably guys that loved the job. So I was looking for a job while I'd be sitting in the truck. I was looking for a job in the paper. And then my wife called me one day and she said, there's this job in the paper. It's a woodworker. I said, oh, perfect. Give me the number. So I called them and they said, well, we're actually a plastics place, but we use all the same tools.
Yeah.
So I said, well, okay, I know all those tools. And so he said, well, come and check us out. And so I did, and gave me this kind of weird interview walk around. Here's what we do. And so do you want the job? Like, all right, sure. And he said, well, when can you start? Yeah, I said, when you want me to start? He said, well, when can you start? I said, I don't know, Monday? It was this weird, and that ended up being this wonderful job. It was a family-owned place. And
we still use them. We still use Colorado
Plastics. Yeah, because I actually tried to buy Colorado Plastics. He was selling it, and I would have had to put up everything I own on the line and then try to run this company. And I know I'm not a business guy, so I said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. But because he sold it for, I think, about $2.5 million. But I would have been able to do it with all my collateral and stuff. But I just thought I would probably just fail. So I said, well. And, so the guy that owned it or that bought it, what's his name? He's turned it into a big company. He changed everything. But yeah, they're still the strongest plastics place in the world. Yeah, serendipitous, man. That's the word. To be with this guy still, it's funny because I remember, back in those days when Gary's office was up there. And I remember before the offer with Charlie, I was over there and I was talking to Charlie and I had just bought that Pass X250 is what it was. $4,500 I think retail. Cool amp, is a great amp. I liked it on the Aerial 10Ts. Charlie said, oh, why'd you buy that? You should return it, just buy a V1 or a V3. So I haven't heard of them. So I took a V1 home and went, oh, yeah, that's a mistake. I love the Pass, but it just wasn't, the V1 was really, but the V1 was not. Yeah. But Gary's like, I remember him sitting on his desk and we were talking, Charlie and Gary and I, and just talking hi-fi. And Gary said, well, you get the good price now. You're a friend of a friend. I said, well, I don't know if I want to push that. But anyway, I never did buy the V1. I did buy one after I got it. I had a V1. I bought it because I had a V1 K1. First I had a K3, and we needed the K3 for something, parts and I brought the K3 in, and I said, Jay, I need something. So he said, well, we have this K1, you can buy it, and we'll give it a good price. And so I had a V1 K1, and then I got the D1, and then we needed a V1 for a transformer or something, I don't know. And I said, you can have my V1, but I need something else. And so I got the monoblock. I worked the deal with the monoblocks. I actually put the ding in the front. We had that air hose that there was a little steel nozzle that would shoot out if you, and I had it too close to the amp. And I used the arrows and it shot out and it dinged the front of the MXR. And so we couldn't use that chassis. And so that pair kind of just went into the demo pool. I said, hey, Jay, we got this pair that, it's damaged. So I ended up getting those, for the good price. But yeah, I mean, it's all been just wonderful. I mean, it's so good to be here. Just want you guys to know that. I can't wait to do good things. And like everybody out there, the designs are, I mean, this is Ariel, and he's Charlie's legacy, and everything that Charlie knew, you knew. Because he pretty much gave you everything he knew. And if he didn't give it to you, you learned it.
Yeah. Even if I remember 10% what he tried to teach me, that's huge.
Yeah, you probably will.
That's
if you know 10% of what Charlie did, you're one of the best designers out there. Yeah, but I mean, you got all these, I mean, there's, good connections with, Jeff or Jim, I should say, and I don't know. Do you ever talk to John Curl?
Occasionally, yeah, I have. Yeah,
all these connections. And, they were friends with Charlie.
Curl, Paul. Gordon Rankin,
you still talk to him.
Oh yeah.
We should get John on and my good friend Darren Myers, because Darren Myers works for John Crow.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. So Darren worked over at PS Audio with me for years, and now he's working with the great John Crow.
The great John Crow.
Yeah.
The only guy
legendary.
that could argue with Charlie.
Yeah. Oh, they love to argue. Very, very good nature. But yeah, they go. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I've told the story before. When we were developing the KXR, like when we got that circuit singing and measuring beyond what we've ever been able to do with a zero feedback circuit before. The first call Charlie made was to John.
Hey, I did it.
As I did it, I just achieved. It was 0.00% distortion, and John's like, no fucking way, no way.
Not with that circuit.
And say, yep, we did it. With this kind of signal level, and we did it doing this, and John was really impressed.
Well, and you know what's really impressive about that is it's probably still never been done since.
No, probably.
Because if I'm speaking correctly, the KXR is such that even if you know how to design a pretty good volume control and pretty good preamp, you can't do that one unless you know how to do zero feedback.
Yes, you cannot do the VGT, the variable gain, with a non-zero feedback circuit. Yeah, I'm quite confident that there have been some attempts to copy it, and I don't think they succeeded.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I mean, and I know you can keep that going. I mean, I don't know if I can say.
Probably not.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. It's just really good stuff about to happen. Put it that way. That's why I'm back, because there's faith.
Yeah, we've got a lot of plans. We've got a lot of excited aspirations here, and we've got plans for the next few years that are going to be
big. A couple new influences to poke at Ariel for some really awesome designs.
Well, and you've been Paramount since the weirdness of air and in the world and COVID and all that. But I mean, keeping from a business perspective, and I know, so
And
kudos to you too. But
also mostly just helping this guy realize his full potential.
yeah, but there's potential over here. Yeah, it's crazy potential.
Yeah.
That I love. That's what I said, Ariel. It's ever since I left, it's like I wonder if I'll ever be able to go back. You know, because there were some things there that I wanted to mention, but and so I'm just stoked. I mean, it's just great to be here. Like I said, just knowing that we can, I know what we can do and what you can do. And I know how good air is. And I mean, it's
Yeah, and your history, your knowledge base, your recent relations with YG is awesome for us too.
yeah, those guys are great. I mean, I can't wait to work with them a little bit. You know, the guy that is running YG is super smart. He's a great designer, and you know, it's just yeah, I can't wait to work with them more. You know, we can. I want to get maybe a pair of their reference series up here. You know, a pair of what they have. It's called the Halo. That'd be a good speaker to have in here at least to check it out. I mean, they want to do peaks more, I'm sure, because the peaks are their new designs. You know, the Haley and the reference series are still kind. I mean, they just recently did a crossover network. It's really big changes, really good changes. The speakers were a whole new speaker after that crossover change, and they really are good. And so, but I know they would rather have us have peaks. So maybe we do a pair of summits or something.
I'm really excited about all the technology that they're doing with the Peak series and all the upgrades. I mean, as a company, it's nice to see YG taking on some of the upgrade paths like we've offered for so long. It's nice to see more companies starting to adopt that.
Well, you have to, because what's it like? The average life of a high is like 5 years. You know, and so if you don't, you either got to come out with, like Charlie used to say, it's just the same old crap in a different box. You know, and he was always, I don't want to do anything unless it's new, better, and different. And I love that. That's what we've always done. Why bother if it's not new, better, and different? You know, might as well just keep using what you're using. And so instead of just putting a new box around something old, we actually can just upgrade it. And I know everybody out there knows about upgrades and how good that program has always been for them. It was, you know, kind of a headache here sometimes, but it's good for. I mean, it really is a good thing. You know, when you've got the $10,000 amp, you get a new one 4 years later. So it's good.
After that many years too, I mean, one of the biggest things that you end up paying the most towards if you upgrade is like the transformer and the chassis. And if you don't have to change those out and you're focusing just on the most audible part of the upgrade, the circuit board itself, it's a huge value. Just again in recent years, transformer and chassis costs have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And it's a great value to our customers to be able to modernize their sound and the product without being penalized for cost increases, inflation, things of that sort.
Right. It's fun. It's a good world. I mean,
I should interject real quick. We haven't talked about our beer today.
Oh, I thought about that too. We were so excited about Michael. We just started.
Kaiser.
I was excited about it.
Yeah, we usually start our episodes.
I know you usually start that. Yeah.
Well,
but I grabbed the Kaiser from Avery because we're still going through our Avery beers.
Avery year.
Well, yeah, it's Avery has their 30th anniversary this year, so
no kidding.
I kind of
so do we, right?
Yep. So I opened my big mouth and said we should do 30 beers for 30 years with Avery.
It must be pretty good because I'm almost done. I'm not a beer drinker.
So this is their Imperial Oktoberfest Lager, and it's a kind of a limited release. I think it's just kind of a seasonal thing, but it is about that season, right, Ariel?
And I'm a lager guy too.
It is. It's a September, which is Oktoberfest.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somewhat ironically.
Which is weird. It would be September.
You'd be wrong.
It's good. I like lagers. I was telling him how we go out to, what was that place called? The something house. The CS place with all the mostly Belgian beers, I think.
Oh, the Yard House.
The Yard House.
Yeah.
And we go there and okay, you guys order me something.
Something fast, yeah.
So you and Alex or Brent would order me something because I knew what I liked, but because I'm not the connoisseur that you guys are. But I liked what was it? What do they call it? The Creek beers. You know,
Creek,
flavored raspberries,
Yeah.
and I love that stuff. Sugar junkie.
Yes.
I like that sweet beer. It's like champagne.
Yeah, the Kaiser, 8%.
But this is good, yeah.
Strong. It's
Oh my
good.
God,
Strong
really?
one. Yeah,
Oh, great. I'm on emotion.
you're gonna have to hang out with us.
I'll be
Listen
here
to some
for a
music
while.
for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to point out that one of the first things Michael did when I was here was came in and tweaked the sound room, and
Recently, this week.
this week, and
It's coming back.
it is astounding what he was able to accomplish in a room, and it is magical. Let's call it.
I this is no joke. I mean, when I sit in front of that, it's crazy. I don't remember ever hearing like what's going on. It's not like I'm hearing all this stuff, the details. It's just so emotive and connecting. I'm connecting to everything I listen to, and it's testament to you. Really don't know, but the MXRs and KXR and the digital, the QX, EX8 in there. No, the QX8.
QX5.
QX5 in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
QX5.
It's testament to that, but it's crazy how much it's testament to those 1991 Avalon Ascents that I had at home for like 4 years. So I knew how to kind of set them up. Like I knew what they liked, but I didn't think I'd get it like spot on. What I feel is spot on right at the start. Like, I mean, maybe we can improve it still. I don't know. Feel free to move things around, but I mean, it's crazy in there. I think.
Yeah, it is really singing. It's really.
I have
like you
never
said,
connected with music as much as I am right now. Never. Even even when we put the MXRs on the TADs way back when, and it was like, oh my God, this is. I don't think I connected as much with the music then as I am right now. Just on an emotional basis, and just, I don't know, something about it. It's just really, really good. And I know it's not the speakers themselves, because they're just Avalon Ascents.
Those are still,
really good.
those are
And
those
they
are
were
really
I
good
think
speakers. I think they're underrated.
Oh, highly.
You know,
But they were, I mean, because that was, Lucian hand rubbed that pair. That was his finish. And when I got them, the tweeters were mushed in. And Charlie said, oh yeah, just take it apart and, you can rub it out. We've measured it. You can't even hear those dents in the tweeter, And so I said, okay, I'll do that. And I smoothed them all out, put it back together, and they were nice domes. I smoothed them really good. And then I went and talked to Lucian and said, hey, I got these speakers. I'd love to know when they were made. And so he looked them up, and, he had hand rubbed the finish himself, because that was Richard Brody's pair. And he said, yeah, don't ever blow those tweeters.
Yeah.
Because we can't replace them. I said, oh, I'm so glad you told me that now, not because if I would have done it after I knew that, I would have been all shaky.
Yeah.
And, realized something and dropped it. But I was just all nonchalant. I'm like, oh, it's just a tweeter. But I think because I think those are titanium dome.
Yeah. And
so I pulled them apart. I mean, they're, it's funny because even Matthew at YG said one time, there were some things that we had to modify on the drivers that they were getting from their supplier. I won't say names because I don't know if that's legit, but it's probably not. But anyway, we had to do this quick modification that they were doing that was not right. We had to just pull the thing apart, basically. And it was this, like Matthew said, it's this really kind of primitive, almost design that's still just the way it works. It's a little some coil around a thing that goes in between some magnets and it makes it go like that. It is kind of just
Relatively simple.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he
that's
said. It's a simple design. It's the way things work. But yeah, I remember pulling those tweeters out and just rubbing them out, and so I had them sounded good. And I don't know, man. It's just they're really good. It's the gear on it is a huge part of it for sure. I'm just connecting. I think the emotive part is the connection with the electronics. I think that's where that comes in. The speakers are just doing things right as far as what they do. Emotionally, I haven't connected that much in years.
I agree.
I mean, even the Maggies at home don't quite do that. You have Maggies?
No,
I was talking to a customer who had some Maggies.
yeah. I know it, but I don't have any of the speakers yet.
Well, they're fun.
Yeah,
Good value.
I do love them. They're hard to beat for the sound stage that they create and
Yeah, super high.
just the place they take you and they transform the listening.
I mean, I got the AX7 on the ones I have 1.79s, and it's really good. I can't wait to get the AX8. Put it on there. Because that'll be better, I'm sure. Because then I'll be able to do my streaming through that.
Yep.
And that'll be revelatory, I'm sure. Because the Blue Sound piece is really good. But I'm sure it'll be an eye-opener. So can't wait for that soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you've spent so much time and you've had so many years with our gear. It's no surprise to me you were able to dial it in because we just set the speakers to like.
Yeah, you had just popped them down for that event.
Yeah, we put them down quick, but based off of our kind of Cardis speaker room placement.
Right,
It's the place to start. Golden ratio is the place to start. That's what Charlie said. You start with that and then go from there.
Yeah.
Tweak it a little bit.
They sounded great right away, but yeah, once you reposition some things in the room,
I think it sounds pretty good. That's for sure.
dialed it in.
So next is the Quattros. So
yeah,
do that maybe Monday morning. I was gonna do it this morning, but got here too late. So
we'll hold you to the highest standards, and if you don't do it right, we're gonna have Richard come out.
You're fired.
Yeah, Richard himself will come out and do it.
Come spank me. I would love to see Richard.
Yeah,
I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah,
because
it's been many years since he's been out and visited us. I remember visiting us at that factory at the old location. He and two of his sons came out with it. I think Nathan and
best family in Honey and Ayre. They are the best. The Cardis is a close second.
Yeah, sounds like the youngsters in the Vandersteen clan are starting to take on more.
Because
they have it for quite a while. It's been kind of growing and taking more and more every year.
Richard, just great. Good people.
Yeah, we still need to get Richard on, but I would like to get some of his offspring that are involved in the show as well. So we'll have to get some good conversations. Yeah, that relationship is really special to me. I know Charlie and Richard have a nice close thing. I want to keep honoring that quite a bit, and those Quattros have just been so much fun.
Oh, they're great to listen to. They are. That's what I love about having that and that, because they're different.
Yeah,
and it is good to listen to both, And so if we get some YGs up here all together, we'll have three things to kind of. It's good to have. I mean, the TADs were.
It's an excellent reference.
You have the best reference, I think, just as a reference to it. They were a no-brainer, because they were technically perfect. From a technical perspective, they did everything right. Whether or not you love them is a different story. I mean, I always loved the way Andrew used to get really good sound at the shows. Better than we got, even in the factory most of the time. It was probably the room, because the room at the old factory wasn't that great.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Even this room here is not perfect.
No.
We haven't really addressed some of its major problems yet, or hope to in the years to come. But
I think having a less than perfect room is good, though.
It's more realistic.
In some ways, it's more realistic. The average listening room isn't perfect either, and the average living room, I should say. And I think we can hear through that most of the time. I mean, well, let's put it this way: done a remarkable job making gear that sounds world class with a lot of great listening room inputs. And yeah, something must be right.
Well, when in the recording world, a lot of the time, like the speakers that you're using to reference are
They're
like
not that good.
they're very subpar because you want to hear what your music is going to sound like on a lot of consumer level
Yeah,
systems.
yeah.
So it is kind of good to operate with some of those shortcomings because it is more realistic to what people actually have. And,
Yeah, because YG had a phenomenal listening room that they built. It was, really good design for them. It was no parallel walls. Ceiling even was canted. It was good, it was, but I remember listening going, it's that thing of, okay, yeah, everything should sound good here.
Yeah.
Because YG, I mean, it sounded good. Mastering vocal, everything was always good. But emotive content,
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking about just like our listening tests earlier, and it's not like about how it measures, but more about like how it makes us feel and like where it kind of takes us just immediately to listening to the music.
I think it's the first. What is the first? I think it's called "As We See It" in Stereophile. The first article that were writings that you see in the magazine when you open that is called "As We See It."
Yeah.
Read that in this issue. It's all about that. It's what I've been saying for years. It's all the getting hung up in the details and all the stuff. It's really about just music and enjoying it, and I want to always get past that. I don't want to listen to things. I want to listen to music. And right now it's doing it like to my heart's content. It's really good. And that article is really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, this month is a really good issue of Stereophile to pick up too.
Yep.
So
VX8, is that right?
yeah, VX8 made its
Good
way
review.
into and onto the cover of this month's issue of Stereophile, and very deservingly, it's a great sounding amp. And one of my favorite things that I picked up on from the article was something that we were kind of anticipating going into it, but the amp measured out like 10% more powerful than the EX8, which is a pretty big number. 10% is quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like 100th of a dB. Or something. I don't know what the math is.
Right. Well, but you can't really.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But no, it's just nice to have. That it's doing what it's supposed to. If nothing else. If I say it's 100 watts, it's 100 watts.
Yeah.
Because we've always been that way. Honest
We've
measurements. Honest
always
measurements.
been we've always been conservative as far as our power rates. So if we say 100, it's at least 100. It might be 110.
Right.
Honestly.
Well, what was it? I was telling him. Remember when John did the review of the MXRs, and we had, I think, the incorrect fuse value, and so he was just running that thing crazy, and it just went like off the charts with power until it finally just blew up because the incorrect fuses went.
Yeah.
And it never blew the fuse, so it just went like. And it was still measuring really good, even with these ridiculous wattage measurements. I don't remember the numbers.
Because he did the 8 ohm test, the 4 ohm test, and it goes max, and the 2 ohm test is where it just kept going, and then finally, pushed it way beyond what he expected to be able to, and it just kept going, and then finally blew.
Yeah, and that's when he said, "Oh yeah, I finally blew up, but by the way, it was really good because I had the wrong fuse in there or something." I don't remember the details. I'd have to reread the review. I just remember him saying, "This is crazy good because shouldn't have done that even." But yeah, I mean but also the VX8 review. So YG has that review by Michael Livornia with the Summit, and he has a VX8 and KX8, and he said in there that was his favorite combination on those speakers. So, just so you know.
Yeah, and I just read that the other day on Twittering machines, and that has really excited me about trying to get a setup here.
Michael's great too. He listens. I love the way he does his reviews.
I do too.
I love his writing, and he's honest. And I really believe he's not just appeasing some market. I think he really is. This is what I like because it is really good. I don't think he's all that.
I don't get the sense that he's like a bean counter with
No.
the sound quality. He's really tuning into the emotional, musical aspect of it. I like watching I like seeing the choices that he throws out too. Like he has like really eclectic taste in music.
Yeah,
It's
He's great.
Yeah, and his photos too. He's one of the few reviewers that takes like really tasteful, original photos of the gear when it's in its space too. That's so all around it's always fun to
I just like the air mention. Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah. We had Michael on as a guest here on Pints With Ayre quite a while ago now. But yeah,
We'll do a song listening to watch that.
yeah.
Yeah, Twittering Machines. Check it out. Follow, like Twittering Machines. Well, yeah, this has been great. I mean, it's only been a week, and I've noticed a huge just improvement and difference just having you on the team. Just like
That'll change. It's a time.
you're
I'm kidding.
You're a people first kind of guy, and that's kind of we make electronics, we make it really good, we do it by hand, we do it as best as we can, but we're a people first company, and you help bring that
That
back.
is all Charlie. So Charlie's responsible for a lot of my personality. I spent a lot of time with Charlie, and in his later days, when he was in the chair and taking care of him. And we had some really, heart-to-heart conversations a lot of times, and he liked. And this is a pat on the back, but he liked me hanging out with him because we didn't talk about hi-fi. We talked about stuff, life, and I loved him for that reason. I owe him a lot of gratitude, but I never forget. He said there are 3 reasons to be in business, and I can sum everything. So it was make money, make a cool product. Or make a cool product, make money, and have fun. Those are the 3 reasons to be in business, right? Make a cool product, make money, and have fun. What else is it, right? And he was right. And it's just I've always held that near and dear because that's what I'm in it for. I'm not even in it to make money. I mean, I got to make a living, but I want to make a cool product, which you do. And I want to have fun, which I do because of people I work with and the product we make. And that's why I love where I am. It's great. And I owe that all to Charlie. And I can owe it to you in several years. No pressure.
Yeah. Well, I've always been thankful to work in the music industry in general.
Nice.
Just being part of the music industry is nice because we make electronics for it, but it's not like an appliance. There's like a real heavy emotional attachment to the electronics that we build, and it brings fulfillment to people, and it always brings a fun and unique conversation with every customer or person that you interface with. It's all centered around some passion for the music or the gear, one of the two.
Well, and that's the thing. Charlie was a music guy. He loved the music, and music is one of those things where I think just so many people don't know the power of good music. When you have a good high-end system in your home, and you have that, what Charlie called restorative energy. And it does. Music is restorative. And you listen to it and you de-stress. And people are getting it all the time. They listen to music at work, they listen to music in their car. But when it reaches you on that emotional level, then it's really doing its thing. And that's what, hi-fi people and people that are audiophiles and that love music and are willing to spend the money on these types of systems, they get it. You know, they know that power of music. Maybe they don't even know it; they just know it unconsciously, and the restorative power that it has. And it, like Charlie said, it makes you smarter. It literally changes your brain chemistry when you're listening to music, and is a good thing. And that's for me why I love music in my life. I can't, you know, for years when I had my condo, I didn't have a TV for 6 years. The first 6 years I was there, I just had music. I still want to just kill my TV, but my wife, yes. Anyways, yeah,
Intent.
yeah,
If she's watching.
kill your TV. Man.
Yes.
Mm.
Amazing.
But-
I'm really happy to have you on board.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys, and like I said, I'm happy to be here. So, yeah, couldn't be better. Life is good.
Well, I'm all out. I'm empty on my
Yeah.
Kaiser.
You too.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers,
Cheers.
everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
To our 30th, to our new guest, Pints With Ayre. It's been an awesome year, and it's hard to believe it's already almost October officially here soon.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of great big new things coming up, and if you need anything, you can give us a call. And now you have Michael,
We'll answer. Yeah.
me, you have Ariel. If one of us doesn't answer, the other one will. But thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.
Have fun,
See ya.
everybody.
Thanks.
Enjoy the music.